Alright, YouTube. This is my first ever video of anything. And what we're looking at today is a pistol I bought from a company called Canada Ammo. It came as a package deal, 1,000 rounds of 45 ACP ammunition, and this pistol for a total of $599 plus applicable taxes. The seller did include free shipping, so it didn't seem like that bad a deal. So I said let's do that, and this is what showed up. So this is a Norinco 1911 Commander Edition. It's made in China. It arrived in this box, which is a nice enough looking little box, but certainly isn't structurally sound. There's no place for placing a locking mechanism, and anybody who was determined could get in would just simply cut this seam at the back and open the thing. So lockable, no. So this case will be used for something else, and the pistol will have to be transported in one of my lockable cases. I have opened this box already and examined it. This is just for purposes of showing how it arrived. The pistol itself was wrapped in a plastic bag and had a bit of cosmoline on it, but not that much. It arrived with the pistol itself, which is a fairly accurate replica of a 1911 Commander with one magazine in it. And the magazine does drop free when you push the eject button. So I thought that wasn't too bad for a Chinese knockoff. Second magazine, also wrapped in plastic. I haven't opened that or taken the oil off it yet. A cleaning brush and a small tool for attaching said brush to. This is a nylon brush, so it should give adequate surface for a reasonable amount of time. I have field stripped this weapon once already. We will check it just to make sure that it is empty. And that bore is clear. So I will take it apart and we will look at it. But first off, we'll get a couple of particulars. The weight. I do have a scale here. And because I'm assuming most viewers will be Americans, I will use the pound scale. And without the magazine, this gun weighs empty 2 pounds 34 ounces. That doesn't mean much to me. I actually live in Canada. So in the metric system, this gun weighs 1,003 grams, so just over a kilogram. The magazine itself weighs 70 grams. So it field strips just like any other 1911 type pistol does. With the hammer back, we move it to the second notch and pop out the slide pin on the back, which I did find a bit stiff. But there she goes. And with that, the slide comes off. This barrel bushing is a little Mickey Mouse. It's just a piece of hollowed out metal. The edge is quite sharp. Pressing it down was a bit of a nuisance. I ended up using the end of the magazine to move it down. The bushing itself, again, isn't really a high quality part. It appears to be just a piece of stamped steel. It's fairly rough with sharp edges. I will try and polish that up to see if I can smooth it out. The guide rod is relatively smooth. I don't feel any great imperfection in it. I may polish that up, or I may just leave it as is because it doesn't seem too bad. And out comes the barrel. We'll do a quick statistic on this barrel. When I looked up Commander 1911s, they seem to have various barrel lengths listed. This one is exactly 4 1/4 inches from the breech. Or for our Canadian friends, we have 110 millimeters. The barrel itself appears to be fairly well machined. This wing here is a bit rough. The bore looks acceptable. I don't think there's a great deal of work needs to be done on this. However, after sliding the rack, it is quite gritty. One looks at the material and can see machine marks along the slide, along the base, and it's fairly rough in all places. So I will be using a piece of emery cloth to try and smooth that out and putting some polishing compound in the rails, racking the slide repeatedly to try and smooth that out. People have reported that they can do that. The feed ramp isn't too bad. I don't feel a whole lot of imperfection. I might try and just round it a little bit to improve the feeding. But the main bearing surfaces, contact surfaces, are fairly rough. Another YouTube video maker reported that the Chinese steel in this, something they've invented themselves called 5120, is quite hard and wears the tooling out in the factory fairly quickly. Now this pistol is built to a price. I got it for approximately $270 as part of the combination kit. So anything built at that price, they aren't changing the tooling too often to make sure everything's pristine. I do own another 1911, a Dan Wesson, which is a beautiful piece of machinery. Everything fits like a glove and is smooth as silk. And this particular Commander 1911 is going to take some work to reach that sort of level, if it ever does. The beaver tail and hand grip, or grip safety, is not plastic. It appears to be made of some sort of cast metal. I don't know if it's metal in metal injection or just a cast part. The grips themselves appear to be some sort of Chinese rubber. They're quite pungent. I'll be replacing those with wooden grips that I've ordered from eBay. There is stippling along the back. There is no stippling along the front. It is smooth. The top of the slide is stippled, so there is no glare there. The bluing is adequate, nothing special. Anything that I buff up, I will probably attempt to do a rust bluing job on myself and just brush it smooth and get the color back. The sights actually don't look too bad. I haven't fired this yet. I don't really know. They're a 3-dot partridge type sight. Possibly adjustable with a sight press or sight puller. We'll just have to take it out and shoot it and see how it shoots. I'm going to start working on this and I'll post a follow-up video and we'll see how it all comes together.